Hello, welcome back. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to be doing a Chatty Get Ready with me. And I do have a lip stain just right now, just partially for moisture, and then see if it'll help me with the lip color I'm going to do towards the end of the look. But basically, I am going to copy someone's look that I really liked on Instagram. The person is also here on YouTube, so it's Bianca Scogan Beauty. And I mean, that's not her name is Bianca, but you know, that's her channel name. And I was really excited because we do have some palettes in common, and one of them is Fairy Tale Fairies. And so when I saw that she made the look with that palette, I'm like, well, I can definitely dupe it because I have that palette. And I figured it would also give me a chance to get some uses in on different shades that I don't always use as often in the palette, particularly the like red and that kind of thing. And I just thought it was a fun color combination that I wanted to try. I'm not sure the exact shades that she used. I have a thought that it might be the one blue column for the one part, but there's three bluish greenish shades that are very similar to each other. So I might actually use based on what I'm trying to just get more uses on in my palette. So, you know, anyway, we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully I make a look that I am as happy with as, you know, I enjoyed seeing on her. And yeah, we're also gonna talk about hair. So you can keep watching if you want. I'm gonna start by putting on my eye primer, and I decided to use my NYX in the milk shade just because I want, you know, this is my white base, and since we're using some pastels, then this is definitely what I like to do with pastels. I don't have to for all pastels, but the ones in this palette don't work as well as some other ones I have, so it's necessary. And yeah, so we're gonna see how this goes. Hopefully, like I said, I like the look, even if it's not, you know, a perfect dupe of what she had. But this palette is, you know, not brand new, and I want to make sure that it is looking well loved. I'm gonna actually use this for my inner part of my eye, and then I'll eventually work to the red. I believe she used this shimmer, and it kind of looked like this shimmer maybe for the more inner part that kind of paired, but there's a good chance that she used this blue. I might dip into it some, but I have actually used that light blue a lot, so although, I don't know, we'll see. So I might add some blue, but I'm gonna start with this shade because it is kind of in between. It's like a light teal, which makes sense because the darker shade that it has is a teal. So, you know, I'm just trying to make sure I'm using, like I said, this palette fully. So if I know I've been using a different color, now this is so much darker on me, I just realized, than on her. Okay, and that's even with the white base. Okay, I'm gonna come in with a different palette, I think. Let me use some of that blue. Let me just see, maybe that'll help. No, that's not super light on me either. Okay, and she wraps it around. So I'm gonna wrap this around, but I'm gonna come in with a pastel from Sickly Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna start with the shade I'm Fine and see if that kind of helps a bit, which I think it is. It's brightening it up. This is just one of those, you know, when you have different skin colors and tones, you know, things are gonna look different. So like I think about the Rogue palette that I own from Fantasy Cosmetica, and I love it because it's got lots of purples and things. Do I have something lighter that I can use in here? Let's see. Actually, the Crybaby shade, let me try that. That might make it a little bit more purpley, but let's, I don't know, I'm just playing. That's all this is. This is just a way to play. But yeah, the Rogue palette, I get purpley things and all that, but then my friend DW, everything turns blue on her, and you know, obviously it's the same, we own the same palette, and they're not going to make one palette, you know, more blue than the other, they're the same. So obviously there's skin tones and things that are going to affect it as well. And so, you know, I am very pale, so it takes very pastel shades to show up as actually like, you know, pastel on me. This one has a little bit more of the tealy shade, so I'm going to come back to that over here to kind of match it up a bit. Okay, that's a lot happening. Now I'm going to go and add some of the red. Going to another palette. Actually, it's another palette that I believe she owns. It's Dollhouse, so, you know, I'm not saying that she used all these palettes, but I'm just doing it to kind of help myself a little bit. And yeah, so anyway, they left a comment that I would look good with, I can't remember if they said just like black hair or dark brown hair, just darker than what I have, and a perm, which, I don't know. It was a very random comment, I felt like, to make. And it's one of those comments where you're like, if I saw you on the street, would you come up to me and say the same thing? Like, I don't know. So that's kind of interesting. I have to say that I did actually used to dye my hair when I was younger, but I have not since, well, I can tell you about that time. But yeah, and I have no plans to. I mean, I guess I could in the future, but you know, I'm getting white hairs and all that. And the only reason I'm sad is actually because I like my hair color so much. So my hair color, I mean, you can see it, but sometimes you can see it better in the sun. I have tons of like natural highlights kind of thing happening. My hair definitely changes a lot during the summertime, and then, you know, you get some of that at the end because like as it's grown. And I just really like that. Should I put something tacky down? Let's see. I don't think I need to. I think it's okay. Okay. So a perm, I am not interested in. When I was little, I remember hearing, you know, people talk about them, but my hair, the other reason I really like my hair is my mom had the same hair. My brother actually does too. And my kid's hair color is also basically the same as mine, as far as I can tell as well, but the texture is different. And it might be a smidge darker because of my husband's hair. I feel like it might not quite be the same color as mine because his is so dark and, you know, genetics at play. But let me see. For the other color, I'm going to use a different brush. I'm sort of wondering if she used more of the gold one. Well, this has a lot of gold in it too. So my mom told me that she was told that she could not perm her hair because it would make her hair fall out because her hair is so like delicate and fragile or whatever like that. And since my hair is basically what my mom's hair was, although slightly different because again, genetics, I didn't want to risk that. Like that, there is no, I mean, I think curly hair is pretty and all that, but it is not worth my hair potentially falling out. So I was not going to risk that. And you need to understand that I wash my hair every single day, and sometimes I wash it twice a day. So a perm, the fact that like you can't wash your hair for a bit, that's not going to happen, and it would just not last as long anyway. Also, things that cost that much money for hair, I'm not interested in. I don't even get my hair cut. Every so often, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice. I actually cut layers recently myself for my hair, and I was happy with that. And so now it's like, that was the reason I was thinking about going to see someone, because it's like, well, maybe I could go get like more of a style than just cutting straight across. But I'm like, oh, if I can give myself that, then for now, I think I'm good again. I'm trying to figure out, she definitely had, maybe she did use, maybe I do use a little bit more of the green, like the whimsical shade. I'm like, I'm not quite getting the color. Oh, maybe. That might be closer to the color. So I'm gonna come in with that. But yeah, so as far as getting my hair professionally done, that is not something that is on the table at this time. It's not something I'm interested in. I did used to dye my hair. My mom was dyeing her hair for Grey's, and I would help her. And then, you know, I would just kind of do like all the demi-permanent things, like just for fun. I liked to make it more reddish and all that. And then after she passed away, I inherited her old hair dyes. So, because we never did permanent hair dye, because again, with her hair being fragile and that kind of thing, and we just wanted to like, just, you know, we were fine with it washing out gradually and all that. Nothing, you know, too extreme and all that, and having to worry about it growing out funny or something. Yeah, because we're doing this at home. That we both have dark hair. It's hard to dye the hair anything that drastic, unless, you know, you have those skills, which we didn't have that skill set. So, all right, I want to do, she didn't really do liner, but I'm going to do something just to kind of help with my lash line. So again, I'm going to use a different palette. So anyway, you know, I inherited these things from her, and I used one of them, I don't know how many months before I got married, but apparently it was a permanent hair dye. And so I had a, you know, kind of auburn-ish hairline that was like maybe around here on my head, I think was how much it had grown out. You know, and there was the whole, I could dye my hair, you know, to make it more like, yeah, and it wasn't like super obvious, but it was enough. And so, you know, and I was gonna wear my hair up anyway, because we were doing a summer wedding, and Maryland in the summer, it's hot. So, but yeah, the whole, like, I could dye it, but then it's never going to be my exact color anyway, because like I said, my hair has like these natural kind of colors and things that, you know, if I just do something on top, it's still not gonna be my color. And it wasn't about like, it wasn't that the color offended me. It was more like, for my wedding, I wanted to just have my own hair color. I wanted it to be like me. I didn't, you know, like I wasn't dieting for my wedding. I wasn't doing any like dress. I didn't want anything. I wanted to look like myself. And so I wanted to be my hair color. And so I was very disappointed that my mom had apparently had permanent hair color, and I just assumed that it wasn't, because like, no, we never did permanent. I don't know why she had permanent in her little closet thing. So there you go. But yeah, after that, there was also a time I dyed my hair like an ash brown type of thing, and so it made it a little darker, and I realized I don't like myself with the darker hair. That I think the main thing is that for me, it makes it look like, or from in my eyes anyway, like I have dirty hair, because when my hair is like extra oily or something, you know, like it makes the hair darker, and that's kind of how it looks. And so I've got sparkle all over here. Let's see. Sometimes what I do is use eye cream to help. Let me try. But yeah, I don't want my hair darker for that reason. But I also just am not interested in doing hair color experimentation, because I like my hair color so much. And also I feel like at this point, because I know that I'm kind of losing my hair color in a way with, you know, having white come in and all that, that, you know, I want to appreciate it while I have it. And yeah, it's just, I do actually really like my own hair color. All right, I think I mostly have it, although it feels like more of the shimmer is ending up on my cheeks than up on the eyes. And I also feel like there was a bit more of something. Let me see. I feel like the shimmer colors are just looking different on her, so I'm trying to figure out how I can kind of get that. So I'm going to play around a little bit with going between them. I'm also going to use some glitter glue to help out. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is, you know, those are my thoughts on dyeing my hair and doing any other kind of, you know, thing. Because the same thing with dyeing is you have all of the, like, you know, because I did do it, and that was even with the demi-permanent, where, you know, I'm just going to just let it dry a little bit. you know, the color gets on everything as it like washes out, you know, and I guess maybe permanent, you know, no, you still have that with permanent though, because I know people who have like the really colorful hair and it's like, they talk about it, you know, and you're not supposed to wash it so often, obviously, and I just, you know, also said that's not gonna happen for me. And yeah, I like that this is a little bit more greeny. I think that looks a little bit closer to what she had. And I really like it with the blue. There's like a little contrast there. So it's less Christmassy, and also the red and blue could look very, you know, just Americana, and I'm not trying to go for that either. Okay. Maybe the glitter glue was also kind of needed to help it stay on. And now if I go for the other shade, let's see if that helps too. Yeah, maybe I just needed some glitter glue. I might put a little bit more on the outer. But yeah, are you the type to do those things with your hair? I mean, it's also just, like I said, the expense. There's time, obviously. Like I watched a video where they were talking about the time and cost for having blonde hair and maintaining it and all that, and that it's, you know, very expensive. I had no idea how much, which I guess I should understand because I didn't realize how expensive haircuts had gotten in this time. And so I'm like, if I don't even have the money for, maybe we'd have the money, but I don't want to spend the money on a haircut because whatever I'm doing, I would have to go every month basically, because that's what I was having to do. Like my hair would last maybe the 6 weeks, you know, and then I would need to have it touched up just because it would kind of outgrow the, you know, like parts of it, you know, with the layers is like some were long and it just would start to get sloppy, and my hair also would just kind of lose a little something. And when I get like the haircut, kind of helps it pep up, and so I can do that at home, but I can't fix a professional one at home as easily, like do a touch up. Like I'm not skilled enough for that. Okay. So I know I don't have as angled as she does, but I think it's also just face shape. My eyes are not like that. And do a little bit more of the liner here. So, because she did the mascara and I no longer own mascara. So I don't know if I will buy it anymore in the future, but I just don't use it enough for it to be worth any amount of money. Okay. Like I'd rather buy like another like lip balm or something instead, because it's a similar price to buy a lip product than to buy the mascara. I get more joy out of the lip products. All right, let me finish up my face. Okay, so this is my finished look. I ended up using my Role Play lipstick, and I put this cherry whatever balm from e.l.f. on top because even though it looks red with the tube, it's actually more of a pinky color, so I figured this way would kind of, she had sort of a raspberry type of lip, and I don't have anything exactly like that, so I also feel like I'm getting it all over my teeth. I feel like I'm feeling it in there, so oops. And I started with my NYX serum because this was like the nice little stain type of thing, and it helps just make that darker base for this look. And yeah, I didn't really change anything else here. I did face powder, that kind of thing. So I guess, yeah, I was gonna hold up my phone, but I'll put the picture up here so we can kind of see a little, you know, comparison between what I was able to do, trying to figure out what she did, knowing that my face is a little different. Clearly the colors show up differently on me than on her, and that is totally fine. I know there's another look that she just posted with the crystallized palette that I want to try. So, you know, I love being able to get inspiration from people on Instagram, also on YouTube, and just, even if you don't have the same palettes, just using your own colors and things that you have. And even if you don't follow it, you know, exactly, but you're just like the overall vibe of doing like some sort of bluish thing with the red. It's not something I normally pair together, and I really like it. So, it's a way of getting out of your comfort zone, because if you feel like you're just using the same stuff all the time, maybe by using your collection in a different way, then, it feels more like, oh yeah, I don't need to buy anything. I've got these colors. Like, okay, so the pastel isn't exactly pastel on me, but I have ones that are, or I have ways of lightening things up and mixing and things like that. So yeah, it's very fun that way. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. If you're gonna leave comments, keep them kind. I don't think it was an insult. I thought when I first saw the comment, I'm like, I don't think this is coming from a bad place. It was kind of out of left field, but sometimes if there's comments where it's just spam, I block it. Also, if it is more of a hurtful type of thing, like usually that's more of my shorts that I get those, then I'll also, maybe block it or things like that, because I just don't have time for it. Sometimes I feel sassy and reply. For this one, I'm like, I just kind of thought about it for a couple minutes, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's any like harm meant by it, and everyone can have their opinion. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to change how I look. So more just kind of I guess it was a kind of a weird comment for me. I don't know. Have you had comments like that if you have a channel? What are your thoughts on those things? But, like I said, my self-esteem, not affected at all. I mean, I know I don't know much about hair. I just like the hair that I have. I struggle with some of it, but I do try to enjoy my own self because this is what I have. And, also like the way my hair is, it's because this is what I have the time and effort or interested effort in doing. So, I'm sure that someone else with more skill and interest in doing things with hair could probably do a lot more with it and make it better and all that, but that's not me. And, it's just like some people don't do eyeshadow and all that. They're like, oh, I don't want to take all that time. And it's like, I understand that too. So that is all I have. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well. And I'll see you then. Bye.